Hello, welcome to another live stream with me, Christian Rauchenwald, on this end of May or last of May. So this live stream is going to be about the latest changes that Hi.com just announced. For those of you that don't, or where Hi.com doesn't ring a bell, you might have known it as Hi Dollar, a project that launched a little bit more than 2 years ago and aims to offer a financial services solution that's not for profit. So unlike your bank or so that works for generating a profit, Hi aims to not do that. As said, I actually would have loved to put this in a pre-recorded video so I have time to phrase things properly and make sure I don't miss a single point. However, today's announcement is in effect as of tomorrow, and assuming or considering that Hi is based in Hong Kong, that actually means that it's in effect in like 2.5 hours. So the time to like write a script and prepare pictures, record everything, and so on, simply isn't there. Therefore, as a live stream, we're gonna do this like this. We're gonna first look at the changes. I'm gonna point out some of the things that I consider very positive. But I'm also not going to hold back, and then towards the end, once we looked at the changes, I'm also going to point out the things that I don't think are thought through very well or done very well. And I'm going to try to give you an objective overview over those changes to help you make up your mind. If maybe you should today still sign up and lock in your membership tier, or if maybe for you it's now time to move on from that project. Before we get started, the last thing, as usual, the disclaimer that I need to share here: everything that I share in this live stream / video, depending if you're watching it live or later as a recording, is my personal opinion and in no way financial or professional advice of any kind. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions, and make your own decisions. And besides that, it's also worth pointing out that I'm, in quotes, heavily invested in Hi. Heavily is relatively, but I have money invested in Hi, so therefore I obviously have a personal interest for the project to succeed. Now with that, before we get started, or actually to get started, let's actually check out Hi on CoinMarketCap. So we see the current issue. If you've been following Hi, 24 hours doesn't look bad, 7 days doesn't look bad, 1 month minus 45% looks bad, 1 year worse, and all-time even worse. If we look here, we have an all-time high at around almost 150. We're now at less than half a cent. There are projects out there that are, that haven't done even remotely as much as Hi has already. So in terms of partnerships, licensing, product offers, and so on, that have almost the same value. If we, for example, look at CoinX, so CNX, it's worth half of what Hi is, and it basically, from my understanding, has no product whatsoever. It's just an app on Android only. You can only push a button once per day to get some CoinX credited, but there is nothing else beyond that. Which other projects do we have? It doesn't really matter. We focus on Hi. But so my point is that the current value of Hi actually is, in my opinion, undervalued, or Hi is currently undervalued. And the reason for that, we cover that before we look into the changes, is the following. So it's like a problem that many platforms have, for some reason, not all of them, but many. And that is that in order to get your Hi membership tiers as of or until today, tomorrow it changes, you would say, okay, I want to have, not sure if they updated the website on that end yet already. Let's check products, the cards. Maybe it's probably already updated. It should be updated, but probably it's not. It's not. So here it's not updated yet. So as of right now, you would say, hey, I want to have 8%, or as of today still, but tomorrow it will be different. I want to have 8% cash back with the Hi debit card, which is currently a virtual card. So you have it in the app, and you can use it for online purchases, or you can use it through a service called Curve, although you don't get spend rewards or cash back in that case. And soon, within the next couple of weeks, hopefully the physical cards should be available to order and then hopefully arrive at members as well. So you would say, hey, I need 100,000 Hi to get those 8% spend rewards. With limits are not mentioned here, but for gold you would have a yearly limit, if I'm not mistaken, of 100,000 euro that you can spend. So technically, on 100,000 euro card spend, you could get 8,000 euros back worth of Hi. And For that, you would need to stake, as said, 100,000. So yeah, like to make sure that we have the right numbers, 100,000, oops, not divided, but times 0. What did we have? 0.00418 right now. So you would have to put buy $418 worth of high, yeah, and you would buy that. And right now there are multiple problems with that. So first, right now, if you buy it in the app, the high that you buy come from the supply, which means they are then just freshly minted, and which means the money goes to the company so that they can fund their operations. Nothing bad with that, but the problem is it does not create any buy pressure on the open market. Yeah. Alternatively, you would buy those 100,000 highs, so the $400 on any of those exchanges, so centralized and decentralized exchanges, in which case your $400 would influence the price a little bit. So if we look at the whatever, like 7-day chart, it might then cause an uptick, yeah, which is great, yeah. But then you have your 100,000 high, and you have your high IBAN account, and you have your high cashback card, and then you start spending and you get cashback, and then you sell the cashback. Why would you sell the cashback? Because you look at the chart and you're okay, if I get $10 cashback, well, next week or next month that might only be worth $5, so I'm gonna sell it now, yeah. And as a result, then you're actually contributing to that whole downwards flow, yeah, because the $400 that you bought to get your membership tier is a one-time purchase that very often was bought in the app and doesn't affect the price. And the cashback that you then get and that you're selling, you sell actually on the open market, because you cannot sell it directly in the app. So you would withdraw it, for example, to your Binance Smart Chain wallet in MetaMask, and then sell it on PancakeSwap. And then, yeah, like, so obviously that's a problem. Yeah. So, I mean, I hope that's clear. So the problem right now is you have a one-time purchase that gets you certain benefits, and then you get those benefits and you keep selling the benefits that you get because you're worried that they lose further in value. And as a result, you actually create, or not just you, all the users then create a self-fulfilling prophecy, because with the selling, we create the sell pressure that drives the price down. Yeah. So far about that. Now, there are changes that were announced today, and yeah, there is an update about it. I think that's the news that I also got via email, blah, blah, blah. But so instead of giving you a fixed membership tier, so again, right now, as of right now, you could log into the app, move like $418, $420 worth of crypto into your account, buy 100,000 high, and you would get the high gold tier. Yeah. As of tomorrow, you will need points for it. Yeah. Now, one thing I can point out is like there is some kind of grandfathering going on. So if as of today you're a gold member, you will until the end of the year automatically have your monthly 500 points to still stay a gold member. However, the benefits that are part of a gold membership are also going to change. Yeah. So the first change is the membership tier changes from, instead of having to buy a one-time amount, you actually have to earn points or maintain a point balance. Yeah. Now, how that works, we get to that. I mean, it's already, you see that it says ways to earn points. So that makes a difference, because if we look at ways to earn points, you see here, if your referral upgrades their tier, so if they earn enough points to jump a tier, you get some points. How many? Don't know that. It's supposedly in the high app. We'll look there in a second in the Android version, and let's see how that works. Yeah. When you buy high on the app, you get points. When you stake high on the app, you get points. When you stake crypto on the app, you get points. Depending on your monthly trading volume in the app, you get points. And depending on how much money you have on average in the wallet over the month, you get points. Plus, there might be one-off bonuses and campaigns. Yeah. So there are activities. So buying, staking crypto. So staking high, staking other crypto, trading, and how much money you have in the account, and your referral activities that will get you points and allow you then, in one way or another, to maintain your tier. Which obviously, so like that's the first part. That is a great change, without a doubt. I mean, it really, it in theory is a great change, but it depends on the details of those requirements. Yeah, we'll look at those details as we move forward. Yeah, because as said, right now you would only buy your $400 to get your, what did we say, 10,000, 100,000 high, and you're a gold member, and then after that you just reap the benefits and you sell. Yeah, which creates the downward pressure, which kills the project slowly for you and for everyone else. Yeah, but now with the point system, if you're not on a specific membership tier as of today, so that you get, in quotes, grandfathered till the rest of the year at least, you will have to do something either every month, every quarter, every half a year, because different tasks give points for a different time. We look at that in a second, Asset, which means there is not that one-time purchase and then you just reap the benefits and you sell everything, but there is then a consistent, like interaction with the product. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if it's like every month you're buying high. We get to that while you will anyway would do that. Yeah, to some extent, or stake your high. Why maybe you would do that either. Why maybe you stake other crypto because the interest high offers is high or so. But at the end of the day, it helps high as a company because it increases their balance sheet, because people have an additional one reason to keep more of their money in their centralized exchange. If that's a good idea or not, different topic, not for today's stream. They have a better reason to use high as their trading platform as they move forward, because with the trading volume, they can earn points to keep a membership tier. So overall, it's actually not bad. Yeah. Now we move on monthly caps. That's actually not where we wanted to jump to. Earn boosters, spend rewards. Actually, that's ordered in the wrong way. We have to start with the spend rewards. Yeah. And so with that change, another important change that happens is that right now, when you have High's debit card, you can actually spend either with fiat currency, so you can pay with euro or British pounds, or you can use cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDT to pay with the card. So you pay with the card, and then it would sell some of your Bitcoin or Ethereum, and then you would get whatever, between 1 and 10% in cashback, spend rewards it's called for legal reasons, yeah. And that would obviously, be in high that you get. And that's how it's been so far. Now with the new changes, those rewards, so if we look here real quick again, it's 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10. With the new changes, it's 1, 3, 5, 8, 10, 12. So the platinum and the diamond tier actually get an increase in spend rewards. Yeah, I mean, in quotes right now, we have to look at the rest. However, there is now a very important distinction. First, if you pay with crypto, so you pay with Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, then the cashback will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means 5% less for diamond, 5% less for platinum, 2% less for gold, 1%, what do we have? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 1% less for basic to silver and 2% less for gold. Yeah, so obviously not that great, because it means if you want to pay with Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, then you will get less cashback than before. Now, in addition to that, if you keep paying with fiat, so if you have the high IBAN account, you deposit euro or British pounds there, and then you pay in the store once you have the physical card, or you pay online with the current virtual high card, you will actually get even less cash back or spend rewards, because as you can see, for fiat, the rewards change to diamond 2.5%, platinum 2%, gold 1.5%, silver 1%, black 0%, basic 0%. Yeah. To be fair, I mean, again, I'm invested in high, but I'm also invested in Bluetooth, so it doesn't really matter from my side. But if we look at Bluetooth, they're with a zero investment. So just by signing up, I'm not sure if I have a link for that. Doesn't really matter. You get actually 3% cash back for up to 250 euro of spending. So that's like €7.50 per month that you can get without investing or having a monthly subscription for your fiat spending. Yeah. Whereas with high, for fiat spending right now, with no investment, staking whatsoever, you get 0. Yeah. With black level, you get 0. With silver, you get 1%. So even with diamond, even if you would reach the points to be diamond level for your fiat spending, you would get less. However, the difference is obviously here on the free plan, it's capped at 250 euro, not cashback, but how much you spend. So do I still have the calculator open somewhere? Nope. So just to make sure everybody understands, so you would get 3% on 250 euro of spending is €7.50, whereas with high, the cashback percentage is now lower if you spend with fiat, but where do we have the limits? They were also somewhere already. but the limits even on the basic subscription are higher. So you can get up to $10 cashback per month, up to $20 cashback, up to $50 cashback, up to $100 cashback, up to 1,000, and on Diamond actually unlimited cashback for up to the 100,000 euro yearly card spending limit. Yeah, so those are the first two. So first of all, if you pay with Ethereum, Bitcoin, USDT, so other cryptocurrencies, you have reduced rewards. And for fiat, you also have even more reduced rewards. And the actual high cashback rates are if you pay with high. And that's one of the important changes. That's why the stream is also called high spend to earn, because that's at the core of this change. And that's really, really one of the very important aspects that you guys, if you don't understand it yet, that you really should pay attention to. Yeah. So in order or how does high spend to earn work? Yeah. Like as mentioned, right now you can already pay with Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT as cryptocurrency. With the next Android and iOS update, you will be able to also pay with high. Hopefully that update for Android should be live tomorrow, maybe even today. And for iOS, yeah, that's a different topic. I also hope it's gonna go live soon, because otherwise that's just gonna be a mess. But we cover that at the end of the stream, so towards after we reviewed all the changes. Yeah. So what does this mean? Right now, I get that. Like, so what does it mean? Is it means that you would deposit. Let's say next week, you will spend roughly €100 with your high card. So you would wire €100 to your high IBAN account, so you have the €100 there, yeah. And then you would use those €100 to buy high in the app, which as of tomorrow will allow you to buy them unlocked. So right now, if you would right now buy it in the app, you can only buy them with a 1 year staking or 180-day staking. I think it's just 1 year. And as of tomorrow, you will be able to buy them as flexible so that you can use them. And while I'm not 100% certain if that also will be in effect as of tomorrow, I'm waiting for clarification. So far, there hasn't been any, or at least when I started the stream, there was none. But at least in the near future, so even if it's not the case as of tomorrow, whatever you buy in the app unlocked will be bought on the open market. So again, right now, as of today, if you create your high account and you go ahead and move $420 worth of crypto there, buy $420 worth of high, so you have 100,000 high in the gold membership. That all comes from the supply and has zero impact on the price. Yeah, either as of tomorrow or in the very near future, whenever you buy high in the app, at least for unlocked high. I'm not sure if it will also apply for staked high. Yeah. Again, waiting for clarification there. It will actually be bought on the open market. So when you then log into, so you wire the €100 for next week's card spending to your high IBAN account, then you buy €100 high and it will create €100 buy volume, which obviously will have an impact on the price. Yeah. Now, as you go, and I'm going to address the overall concern that most of you will have in a second, but just let me finish the explanation first. So as you go, the first thing that will happen next week is maybe on Monday you stop at Starbucks or something and you pay for a coffee like for, I don't know, $10 or €10 because it's overpriced. So then suddenly it would actually sell €10 of your high, yeah? Which means you created €100 buy pressure today or on Friday when you funded the card, and then on Monday it would sell €10, which would obviously be less. And then on Tuesday you would spend something and so on, and maybe by the end of the week you spent the entire 100. But the big thing that happens here is that the buy pressure will be early and in a big bulk, because like, okay, next week we go on vacation, I need €1,000 on the card, I buy high for €1,000, but the next week I only slowly spend. So the price will be pushed up by the buy orders, and then only slowly the sell orders will bring it down. However, you for example today say, okay, I'm gonna buy for €1,000, and suddenly the price moves from, I don't know, 416 to 05, yeah. And now I'm like, okay, I need to buy now, because otherwise if I wait longer, then it will cost me more, I will get less high, yeah. So because you buy how you fund your card in one big transaction, doesn't matter if the big transaction is $50 funding the card or $5,000 or $5 million funding the card, but it's one transaction for you to fund the card. So you buy flexible high, and then you have smaller transaction when you're actually spending, yeah. And that actually creates the thing that there should be buy pressure with delayed sell pressure, which then creates a little bit of FUD that people are, okay, ooh, next week it might cost more, so I'm gonna charge my card now already, yeah, which should finally end that downward trajectory we're in and actually push high in an upward trajectory. And if that works, so that's like, I'm honestly, personally, I believe it has a decent chance of working, but let's say if that works, what will happen is you will have no reason to sell your cash back, because next week your cash back will be worth more than it would be this week. Now, right now you would be, oh, why would I buy this week? I mean, weekly the chart doesn't look that bad, yeah, it's pretty much flat, but why would I buy €1,000 or €100 or €50 of high right now to use my card tomorrow or next week? When if the chart looks like this, because then next week suddenly my €50 only worth 25, yeah. So I get that's the number one concern that many people might have. However, once that whole thing starts, you get in the opposite situation. Ideally, if it works out, you get in the situation that it's like, okay, why should I even in quotes? So why should I wait with buying? Because next week my high will cost me more. I will get less high for the same amount of fiat, yeah. And why should I use my cash back? I better should stake it so I get interest that I can then spend, which again reduces the number of sell transactions or sell volume that will happen, while still having more buy volume, because the buy volume would still be on the open market, whereas the sell volume would then be reduced, would also be obviously on the open market, but reduced. Yeah. So that's the core idea of that whole spend to earn, that you use high, and because you fund your card early, or not early, but obviously you're not going to be like in the Starbucks waiting line and then wire transfer €10 to the card, buy high, pay for the transaction. But you're obviously going to be like, I don't know, once per week, maybe every day or so, you move the money that you need on the card to the high IBAN, then you buy the high, so you have the money available throughout the day. Of course, there's the risk that the price goes down, so you buy $100 worth of high, and then when you want to pay, it's only worth $80 worth of high, yeah? And I get that. But considering, if you think about it, considering the approach, you bought 100 and I bought 100 and 1,000 other users bought 100, suddenly we have some buy volume here, and then you pay for your $10 Starbucks and I pay for my $10 Starbucks and whatnot, so a little bit sell pressure, and then the next person charges their card with €500, and so you get the idea behind it. It should actually bring high in an upwards spiral or upwards channel, and more importantly, it will increase the trading volume, because there will be a lot of volume. You fund your card, highs are bought, you sell or you use your card, highs are sold, which makes high also more interesting for bigger exchanges, because an exchange obviously makes money on transactions, on trading volume. And yeah, so the idea behind it is spend to earn. I actually think it's great. Now, there are a few caveats or potential downsides here. One thing I keep hearing is, and I'm gonna let's cover that first. Yeah, one thing I keep hearing and seeing in the chat is that taxes. What about taxes? Yeah, and in my opinion, that's not an issue at all, because if you check the link that I have pinned in the chat and from Koinly, which is the platform I'm using for my crypto accounting. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going to log in on the other screen because don't have to show everything. Yeah, but so, yeah, moment. So not dashboard, but wallets. Yeah. So here is my list of wallets. You can see I have 83 wallets and exchange accounts in there. I don't have high in there yet. Yeah, because I'm currently fixing a few balance differences. Or actually have an agency that does it, but still. So high in the latest app in Android has an export. That export isn't perfect yet, but the team is aware, and it actually follows from the overall layout, the Koinly standard. So what you'll have to do is simply click add wallet, say here high, create custom high wallet, and then import file, and then actually just import that high export, and you will have all the transactions in there, so that then at the end of the year, by the way, Koinly is free for up to 10,000 transactions. You only pay when you need an export for your taxes, and then it depends. If we go to plans, you can see that for 10,000 transactions, it's actually $250. And if you have less transactions, yeah, like here in 2018, I only had less than 100 transactions, it's $39, yeah. So basically you just get the export from high, import it in Koinly or a similar service provider, and then at the end of the year for your accounting, you just go here and say, okay, generate my complete tax report, and that's what you then use for the filing. So taxes, in my opinion, not an issue. Now there is the issue with first in, first out, like for example, which is affecting me personally, yeah, but I think for most people it will not be an issue. Okay, that we'll do that later. If you bought a lot of high here, let's say at $1, yeah, and it's first in, first out in most countries in terms of crypto taxes, but I'm not an accountant, so make sure to consult one if you are, yeah, like just, like that's not accounting advice, just sharing how it works for me. So if you bought a lot of high at $1, for example, and you staked that or in the liquidity pool or whatever, and now you start spending with your card, then it actually considers as if you were to sell those old high, which means it would be considered a loss, which means you wouldn't have any taxes on it. However, when high then increases in value, yeah, suddenly you have, if you spend all the high that you originally staked, so the same number of high, not the high can still be staked, but let's say you have 100,000 high staked here at $1 or at 50 cents or whatever, and now you spend 100,000 high because you buy another 100,000 and you use the card to spend it, then technically from a tax perspective, if first in, first out, it would be considered that you sold those, but you still have those, which means for the current year, so if that happens in 2 separate years, so this year you spent 100,000, which is actually, and you still have the staked ones, then this year you would declare a huge loss because it would be as if you have sold the portion that you actually bought at whatever, 20 cent, 50 cent, whatever, yeah. And then next year, and assuming the plan of high works out with the price increasing, you spend another 100,000 high with your card, but then it would consider that you spent those that you got here, which means you would have a profit that you have to pay taxes on. Yeah? But that only applies, in my opinion, to people that are, I don't know, maybe gold or platinum tier or higher, or invested in a very early phase at a very, very high price, because only for those, it should be a big enough amount to actually make a real difference. Yeah, for anyone that bought later or only smaller amounts, if you only have $400 staked or so, yeah, then it's not gonna make a huge difference if now you theoretically declare $300 loss and then later you have to pay taxes on those $300 once there's a profit, blah blah blah. So then we're talking about like, yeah, amounts that in my opinion can be ignored, so that are insignificant. So the tax argument in my opinion doesn't exist for the majority of users. It's also not a lot of effort because again, high has the export, it's not polished, but it only has to be polished by the end of the year. And with that, you can just throw everything into Koinly and then you have your taxes taken care of. So that's one potential thing. But I see that argument often, that's why I wanted to address it first. Now, the second thing is, and that's a relevant thing, and I don't know the answer to that yet, unfortunately. What about the spread? Because obviously, usually when you buy on the open market, there is a difference between how much you pay when you buy and how much you pay when you sell. Yeah, so you pay a little bit more than what you get. So if that's 1%, for example, and you move 100, I'm gonna move the camera for now. So if that's 1%, for example, and you move 100 euro worth of 100 euro onto your IBAN account, and then you buy high with it, then you would get 99 euro worth of high. Yeah. Then now let's say the price stays flat, and you go ahead and you buy something for exactly 99 euro with your card. Then you actually would be 1 euro short, because when the 99 euro gets sold and we have a 1% free, you would get 89 euro and 10 cents. Yeah. Which means if we, and then switching cameras again, if we, where do we have it? If we consider, and that's if it's 1%. So if you were on basic and the price stays flat, you would actually lose 1%, because you invested 100 euro, you get 1% cash back, but you actually lost 1.9% for the buy and sell transaction if the price stays flat. Yeah. If we're on high black, instead of 3%, it would actually be suddenly only 2%. Yeah. If there is a spread and if it's 1%. So that's something that's really, really important, because it's going to make a very, very big difference. Yeah. What's possible is, and I'm still not sure about how much sense it makes, would be internalizing orders. Yeah. So for those of you that are not familiar with trading or investing, I mentioned earlier that if you then buy high, it will be on the open market, which will create buy volume. And if you sell it, it will also be on the open market, in which case there should be a spread. Yeah. Now, internalizing would work in that way that I am buying 100 euro of high, but there are 10 people roughly at the same time or within the same 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 1 hour, whatever, that are getting their 10 euro Starbucks coffee. And then high, instead of executing my purchase on the open market and the 10 times 10 euro sell orders, would actually internalize it and just move the balances between our accounts, which means there would be no spread because there was no execution on the market, and only whatever overhead there is would be executed on the market. So that would mean if 10 people or if 20 people charge their account with 100 euro each, so for 2,000 euro, and overall users at the same time spend 1,000 euro with the card, then the 1,000 euro spending would be internalized, so no spread because it's just moved within the high dollar accounts. And the 1,000 euro that are overhead, so that were additional purchase orders, that would be executed on the market and would have a spread. The challenge there that I would see, however, let's talk about potential downsides of that approach. I think it's the best solution, but still, it would reduce the spread. So there would still be a spread for the overhead, either because more got sold or more got bought. But that spread could be divided into up to all the users. So if we have 20 people charging their account, 10 people spending, and it's 2,000 charging, 1,000 spent, then the spread for buying 1,000 in one transaction could then be split up on 30 users, which would make it like ridiculously low. So that would be that. However, the downside would be it would then reduce the impact that all that spend to earn has on the volume, because obviously it would also remove buy volume again. So I think it's still the smartest approach and would potentially reduce or maybe even eliminate the spread, because it really comes down to how, in quotes, generous high is. Because every time you pay with your card, for example, it's a little bit of a different topic, but just in case you're not aware, the bank that issued the card actually gets a small fee that might be, I don't know, 0.3%, that might be 3%. I really don't know. It's like somewhere in the, let's say it's below 1%. But every time you use the high card, the virtual one or the physical one, then the high actually gets some money, a little bit. Now, theoretically, they could use that money to cover whatever spread there is. So if they internalize the orders that only the overhead gets to the market, then I'm fairly confident that out of those 30 transactions that we just in theory had, the spread, not the spread, but the fee that they get, the merchant fee or however it's called, would be sufficient to cover the spread for that one transaction. Maybe not, but that would be my idea. In which case, they can make spend to earn without any spread. Which obviously would be in their interest, because spread is a huge argument for people right now to say, well, if I have to pay 1% spread, then I'm losing 1% here instead of 3, I get only 2, here I get only 3, blah, blah, blah. So like that, it remains to be seen. We wait for clarification there. So we covered basically not everything yet. So we covered the cashback limits. We covered how you can get. We didn't cover yet how much you need to do to get the points, which is going to be something we'll look at. Perks, that's also something that changed. It's something I'm not a fan of. So there used to be, originally before the first cards launched, there used to be a certain number of perks that already, when the cards then actually launched, got reduced. So it used to be 20 perks for diamond, I think 15 for platinum, 10 for gold, 5 for silver or something like that, and even 1 for basic, if I recall it correctly. Now, as you can see, as of today, it's 1 for black, so 1, 3, 5, 10, 15, and none for basic. Whereas with the new thing, it will be 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. So I'm losing out. Theoretically, I'm a platinum member, but that's, again, another issue with bugs in the app right now. But I'm losing out on 5 perks. Other people also lose out on perks, which obviously makes a difference. But to be fair, at least for me personally, the perks are not the biggest thing, because it's just something that entices you to sign up for subscriptions that you actually don't need, because I anyway get that money back in high. What's still also not clarified is if the perks only work if you pay them in high, or if they still will also work if you pay in fiat. So for example, technically, if you use your card in fiat and only for perks, potentially you might then get up to, I don't know what it's, $50, $60 per month on platinum for the 5 perks to back in high. But since you have a setting in the card where you say, what's my primary currency, there is no way to set it up and say, I want to pay for my perks in euro, but I want to pay for everything else in high. So it's an either or choice. So you pick your currency and then, or unless you know exactly when the charge will come and then you switch the funding currency, which seems like a lot of effort. But yeah, so perks get slashed again. And I'm saying again because they already got slashed before the cards even launched. And that's one thing. Yeah. Now, actually, yeah, I'm gonna quickly take care of making sure that the screen sharing works. Yeah, what no internet connection? Screw you. And yeah, Elvis Uchena, thank you for joining and thanks for the feedback. Yeah, I'm really trying to cover everything here to make sure that everybody knows what's changing. And yeah, I mean, I think we covered already the positive stuff, and so, or the potential positive stuff. And I think that the spend to earn really has a lot of potential, yeah, if done right. So it really will come down to, yeah, like not how the audience considers it, but yeah, just how it turns out. Yeah. So where is that? Okay, then I move here, and then we switch cameras, and no, first I switch apps, and apps I switch here. Okay, so now let's see if we can find that in the app. So yeah, the layout will not be perfect because I'm sharing the Android screen, because on iOS the update is not live yet, but you should be able to see the app now. And now somewhere in here should be the new membership conditions. So let's check memberships. There it still shows the old one, and it shows a completely wrong amount for me. But yeah, there we have. Okay, so no, that's still the old one. Earn boosters, still the old. There's the new cashback. Am I confused now? Tiers, basic, 100 high. So the card rewards are already showing the new ones. That's quite confusing, yeah. And is there something like membership, profile settings, waitlist, Web3, buy token, deposit bonus? Okay, so card. It was supposedly in the app. It's unfortunately not. So I'm gonna pull a trust me bro here because I have it in the Telegram chat. Actually, I can just yeah, I can share the chat then. Yeah. So just 1 second. Just need to close that. Okay, just need a second, yeah, to get this done properly. Quit let's stream. Go here. Yeah, actually Nodal is missing. Up. Nodal up. Yeah, so I'm just setting up and then here I need let's view. Okay, and then go back here. Yeah, just setting up Coin app again to run on the phone because that's what it usually does. And then let's view streaming PC. Yep, there we go. Charge the phone. Streaming PC is this one. And then I'm gonna have to quickly look up the Telegram message that has the images. I think it was in this group. Can I just show media here? Media, yep, there we go. Okay, there we have media. Okay, so I'm sharing my iPhone screen now. So there are a few, so you can see it here, but there are a few pictures. Yeah, that one might be all of it. Okay, this one here is hard to read, but you might not be able unless you watch on a bigger screen. But so if you buy 100 high, if you buy $100 worth of high, you get 50 points for half a year, for 180 days, yeah? And you can perform that action once. And if you buy $1,000 of high, you get 100 points, yeah? So 100 points would be the black membership, yeah? Now again, today, if you buy 418 or 420 euro worth of high and stake it in the app, you actually get 100,000 high asset and the gold tier, the gold membership, and that membership, or at least the points for that membership, are then grandfathered till the end of the year. Yeah. So as of tomorrow, if you buy $1,000 worth of high, so that's more than 200,000 high, you will only get 100 points, which will be the black tier. So it's 2 levels lower for that activity. If you buy $10,000 worth of high, you get 250 points, which would be the silver membership. If you buy $100,000, it's 500 points, which is the gold membership. $1 million would be 1,000 points, which would be platinum. So that still wouldn't get you to diamond level, yeah? And those things obviously go in order. So you would buy 100 for 50 points, or you can do them whatever you want. But technically, if you do all of that, so you would have $1,111,100 US worth of high. Then you would have 1,900 points. You would still be 100 points short of diamond, and those points would be valid for 180 days. So in half a year, would have to throw another 1.9 million into the project to basically, I mean, if you then stake it, you get extra points. We get to that. So you don't need the 1.9 million to have 1,900 points. But if it's just from buying high, then if you would buy 1.9 million US worth of high, you would get 1,900 points, and you would be 100 points short of being a diamond member. And there's also listed buy $100 US worth of high, and it gives you 0.1 point. So I'm not sure why somebody would do that. Yeah. Then you have referral rewards. So if you have referrals, which I have, as you might understand or might assume, if your referral reaches the black membership, so 100 points, you get 1 point for 30 days. If they reach silver, you get 2 points for 30 days. If they reach gold, you get 3 points for 30 days. And if they reach platinum, you get 5 points for 30 days. And if they reach diamond, you get 10 points for 30 days. Yeah. So, so technically, if you get every month 10 diamond members, so people we're talking about right now, from what the information we have, like $1 million investment, then you would also be a diamond member. Yeah. It's kind of like, like if you would get like a 10% referral bonus reward instead of the 50% that used to be on the high rewards claiming. Now, if you stake high, if you stake $1,000 worth of high, you get 25 points, $10,000, 50 points, $100,000, 125 points, $1 million, 250 points. And then there are smaller activities, staking 1,000 high for 0.25 points, for 50 points, staking 10,000 for, those are for 90 days. So you can have more points for 3 months or less points for 180 days. Yeah. So if you stake 1 million high for, you can either have 250 points for 90 days, or a $1 million US worth of high, huge difference, yeah, or 500 points for 180 days, yeah, which actually means it's probably tied to your staking duration, maybe, although the high staking starts at 6 months, so I'm not sure there either, which makes it weird, because it would obviously make sense that it should be tied to the staking duration, so that if you stake longer, you get the points longer, and it actually should be as long as your staking lasts. So if you stake $1 million worth of high for a year, whatever amount of points you get, you should get it for the entire year and not just for then 180 days. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so if you stake regular crypto, you also get points, but they are less. So like if you stake $1 million of Bitcoin, for example, you would get 200 points, or any other cryptocurrency. If you stake $1,000 worth of some crypto, you get 10 points that expire in 90 days. Then there's monthly trading volume. If you have a trading volume of $1,000, you get 20 points for 30 days. 50 points, you get 10,000. For 10,000 US dollar trading volume, you get 50 points, blah, blah, blah. And for 10 million US dollars trading volume, you get 500 points. Yeah. Now, trading volume is an important aspect, because that sounds like a lot, but it actually isn't. Yeah. I mean, the 10 million is, but like the other amounts are not really, because if you have $1,000 in the account in Ethereum, for example, you could sell it to USDT, then you use the USDT to buy Ethereum back, and suddenly you already created $2,000 trading volume. Yes, you lost a little bit on the trading exchange fee. Yeah, so depends on how high the fee is. But if you do that, for example, 5 times, you would already have the $10,000 trading volume and would get 50 points for 30 days. Yeah. So if every month, 50 points don't get you anything because you need 100 points for the black membership alone. But if every month you were to trade, to just push some money back and forth, you would lose a little bit on trading fees, which obviously would be considered like a membership fee then in your case. Yeah. But you would get the trading volume. Yeah, it's actually, there was the High Super League last year, so an event where every day you had different tasks, and if you completed the tasks, you got points, and at the end, there were like leaderboard where people got prizes. Irina and I think got like back then around 12,000 from the entire competition because we really took it seriously. And I actually, you couldn't be on the same. There was also bonus points for being having the most trading volume, but you couldn't be on that twice in a row, 2 days in a row. So you could get it 4 days or 3 days if you did every second day, depending on when you started. And I actually just did that. So I just traded Ethereum back and forth like 50 times, and not even a lot of Ethereum. We're talking about like $1,800 worth of Ethereum back then or so, to create an insanely high trading volume compared to what others created, to make sure I get those bonus points. And in the end, I might have spent $100. It probably was less, but let's say it was $100 in transaction fees, but it got me us more than $10,000 in prize money. Yeah. So the trading volume seems a lot, but it's not that bad. Yeah. Now, next thing, monthly average asset value. So how much you have in your flexible balance in all your assets. If you were to have $10 million in your high account total, so everything you have flexible, however, so staking doesn't count for that, which is a pity, then you would get 500 points worth for 30 days. So if every month you have on average 10 million or more, you would every month get 500 points for that, which would get you astonishingly also only the gold membership. Yeah. If you have $1 million, it's 250 points, which is silver. And if you have 100,000, it would be 100 points for black. Yeah. So, so those are the activities that get you the points. Yeah. And I think with that, we've covered the new cashback. We've covered when the changes are in effect. We covered the really positive idea behind the whole spend to earn. We've talked about why, in my opinion, the taxes are not an issue whatsoever. We've covered how you can get points, how the points work, and the point requirements. Yeah, and now that brings us to the is it good or is it bad, or what's good or what's bad about it. But before I get to that, I'm gonna take a sip because otherwise I'm losing my voice. Yeah. Yeah, then I can actually switch. Let's switch here. So I think, as said, the overall idea of spend to earn is great. Yeah. So because it has a chance to finally end that and get us to a value that actually is reasonable. Yeah. Which also, if there is a sign that the approach works, I would not be surprised if a lot of people would just speculate and buy huge amounts of high because they would, I know we need like thousands of % return to go back anywhere there from that low value, but also from that low value, it's relatively easy. It doesn't require a lot of money to go maybe to, 1 cent, which is already 100%, more than 150% return almost. Yeah. So, so the idea is great. Yeah. What sucks is like, let's start with the first thing. So I've criticized the team for that already a couple of times. And at this point, I know I'm gonna maybe, not burn down bridges, but at this point, I have to say, whoever is responsible for marketing and announcement at High is either completely overworked and drowning in other tasks or an incompetent idiot. Yeah, because the team has made announcement on short notice or even after the fact, like the fact that Curve doesn't give you cashback anymore was announced roughly 14 hours after the change. Yeah. And always got the feedback, hey, share things early so people can prepare. There is a chance to have a discussion and maybe adjust it. And what did they do today? Today they make an announcement that's basically in effect in like 1 hour, 26 minutes from now, because if we take Hong Kong time zone, and so again, zero notice. People that don't or not part are not on Telegram and maybe don't read their emails or have the high email go to the spam folder or whatever will be opening more support tickets as to why the heck they didn't get their cash back or less cash back or whatever, because they will not be aware of the change. Yeah. So yeah, like it really sucks that the team just doesn't learn to just make announcements in time. Yeah, which really is more frustrating for me personally, that there is actually a high Telegram group specifically for content creators, which I already pointed out there. Please give information in advance so at least we content creators can prepare content, so I don't have to jump onto a live stream and kind of like make sure that I cover everything, but I can structurize the content, and then when the changes are announced, already have a video ready to cover it in an orderly fashion that answers everything. Yeah, but that's also not the case. Yeah, and so that really sucks. That always, like, doesn't matter. Last year, December 28th or so, they announced the digital virtual cards are launching, and then in the stream they literally said, oh, by the way, we made some minor changes to the rewards, and basically would have slashed the rewards by, like, I don't know, 90% or so, causing a huge outrage. Yeah, no email, no nothing, just a short in a Twitter live stream AMA, just, oh, by the way, minor changes. Yeah. Now, curve cashback. Yeah. Oh, by the way, as of 14 hours ago, I mean, they didn't say as of 14 hours ago, but like basically there is no more cashback now. But it's then later in the chat, it was clarified that it's as of today, which means already 14 hours before the announcement or 12 hours before the announcement. Yeah. Now, they shared a light paper in the High to the Sky group that already outlined the spend to earn approach without the details for the point system. So what you can do and how much you have to do to get the points, without the cashback limits that are now $10, $20, $50, $100, $1,000, and only for Diamond unlimited. Yeah. So they already shared the light paper. They already got feedback to that, and the article. And the feedback was already the potential tax issue, which again I say is in my opinion not an issue for the majority of users, and potential spread and so on. And then they make this announcement, and in the official articles, none of those concerns that the people already told them when they saw the first outline of those potential changes are addressed or clarified. Yeah, it's just beyond me how you can overlook that. Yeah, the cashback limits. Yeah, cashback limits are obviously nobody's a fan of it because we all want to get the maximum cashback. But to be fair, even on Platinum with 10% cashback, I would have to spend $10,000 with the card in a month to get those $1,000. Yeah. If you're on Gold and you would have, what was it, Gold now 9% or so? Like, where is it? Gold would be 8%. Yeah. So if we again open a calculator, so you wait, what? So $100 maximum cashback would be the 8%. Yeah, so here Gold more reasonable, or actually likelier to happen. So if you spend $1,250 per month with your Gold membership, you reach the $100 cap. Yeah, that seems for the requirement that you have for Gold, which again was like 500 points, way too little. Yeah, like really way too little. Especially if you look here, it doubles. It more or less doubles, and then it's 10 times, yeah. Although the requirements for Platinum are just so beyond out of reach for most people. Again, like you would need, what did we say? You would need 1,000 points. So if you have 1 million on your flexible balance on average, you would get the 500 points, but then you still would have to have trading activity and other stuff to get another 500 every month to stay on Platinum. So for everyone below Platinum as of next year, so if you get your tier today, then you have the tier grandfathered, so the points that you stay on the tier till the end of the year. But everyone that signs up starting tomorrow or wants to upgrade their tier starting tomorrow, or joins later, or then everyone in January next year will have a hard time achieving Platinum. And for anything below Gold, so if we say, okay, on Silver, you actually get, 5% cashback if you pay with High. So $50 would be 5% times 100. So you would only get cashback on $1,000 spending. Everything above that, not. So if you go if you pay for a flight, an international flight for you and your partner, that already would probably use up the entire $1,000 where you get cashback on, and beyond that you wouldn't get anything. Yeah, if which is like the biggest problem. I'm not against spending limits. I'm not against or cashback limits, but the problem is that if we put that here, here, and then here, let's drag that here and look at Bluetooth. Yeah, like, which is in terms of cashback cards the biggest competition. Yeah, so again, on the free plan you can get €7.50 in cashback. Yeah, because you get 3% on €250 monthly spend. Yeah, whereas on basic you technically get 1% here, so it's not even worth the comparison. We would have to look at black. For black you already need 100 points, and 100 points would be, as said, staking $100,000 worth of crypto that's not high, or if we look in terms of balance, having $100,000 average balance, yeah, to get the 3% cashback for a maximum of $20. Yeah, but if we say those $20, yeah, so $20 are the 3%, so times 100. So if you spend $666, you get the $20 cashback here. If you spend €250, you get €7.50 cashback here, but you also get 3% without any requirement. Plus, on top of that, you get a perk. And black here also, I think, had one perk. Yeah, one perk. Yeah, but it just makes the if we consider that there's not a lot of extra effort, because you can get the transaction export from the Hi app and import it at Koinly. But at Koinly, even if you have only a few transactions, you still have to pay every year for your tax reports. Whereas with Bluetooth, you don't have that issue. Yeah, if we look here, if you stake, yeah, 250 PLU, which right now would be, I don't know, $2,000 roughly. Yeah. Or maybe a little more than that, so $2,500 maybe, because Bluetooth is right now close to $10 or $9 or something. You get 4% cashback, but you stake it once and you get that, and you get 4 perks. Yeah. If you stake the maximum, which would right now be close to 20,000, you get 8% cashback and 8 perks, and you don't have to do anything. But still, it's like 8% cashback that you can pay with fiat, and it requires a one-time $20,000 investment. Whereas in order to have 8% cashback here, you need the gold membership, which again is 500 points. You only get maximum $100 cashback. Here, theoretically, you would also only get the 8% on the first €250, unless you combine it with the subscription. Then you get it for up to 22,500. Yeah. Now, if you were to manage that, so 22,500 times 0.08, you have €1,800 in cashback per month possible. Whereas on High, you have a spending limit of 100,000 divided by 12, and then you would anyway only get. So if we say 8%. You could theoretically get 666, but as a gold member, you only will get 100 maximum. Yeah, so it's just, yeah, like, I don't know. So I get the. I didn't want to close everything. Yeah, let's bring it back. I get the spend to earn approach. It's really, in my opinion, an ingenious idea, because again, you have the bulk buy pressure when you fund your card, and then you have the delayed sell pressure. Yeah, so obviously cool. I get that there should be cashback limits, but to be fair, you could have just adjusted the card limit. So right now, I think the lower card tiers all have a 30,000 or 50,000 euro yearly limit. You cannot pay more with it. And the platinum, diamond, and I think gold as well have a 100,000 euro yearly limit. Yeah, maybe gold is also on the lower tier, and only platinum and diamond are higher. Yeah, but you can control the cashback limit by controlling and adjusting the card spend limit. This way, it's like easier to do, and you don't feel like you have to keep track of 2 different limits. And you obviously should have cashback limits that stay competitive and not make the card like not competitive anymore unless you're a super high roller. Yeah. Now, obviously, High has a bigger vision that's not just about rewards and cashback, but that vision is also, that vision requires products that expanded banking features for the IBANs, a better exchange experience, especially having a web version of the exchange, so you're not limited, and a proper one, you're not limited to the mobile interface. so that there can be services that attract users. Right now, the only thing or the big thing that's attracting users would be the cards. But if we consider all those changes, it's hard to tell somebody, hey, check out High.com, sign up for the card, because the requirements to achieve the points that you need are just ridiculous. It's like literally ridiculous to require, obviously platinum and diamond should require more investment, yeah. But even the requirements for a gold tier are already like insanely high. And then what you get for black and silver, it's simply right now, unless I'm missing something, not worth the effort anymore. Yeah, it's like simply, beyond reasonable. Like I don't mind the accounting effort because again, I have the export, I can throw it into Koinly and everything is done automatic. And I anyway have more than 10,000 transactions per year with other stuff. So it's just like for every 1,000 transactions that I have, that I won't have in a year with using the card, it costs me an extra $10 for the tax report. So I don't mind that. Yeah, like I think the tax issue is really not a problem. Yeah, but making an announcement with no notice, with such huge changes, it looks like nobody bothered to compare if the product is still viable in comparison to the competition. Like, and what really is like the best thing here is like, okay, we want to the argument more or less is we want to get rid of gold diggers, so people that just want to cash in rewards, yeah. But then you do that by giving the diamond membership an unlimited cashback, so they can get on their 100,000 card spend, basically $12,000 per year cashback. And if somebody is willing or able to achieve the points for diamond membership, so we're talking about I don't know, $10 million or so, yeah. Well, they're also gonna have a different spending behavior, and they're gonna use that 12,000. What are you gonna say? Well, it's irrelevant. Yeah, I would get 12%, but the 100,000 yearly spending cap, I need more in a month. Yeah, if you have $20,000 to throw into a crypto project, $20 million to throw into a crypto project, then you probably also spend more every month, that the $100,000 yearly limit are not even remotely close to what you would need. And the $12,000 that you could get in cashback don't justify the risk that you suffer from investing that amount of money. So yeah, I feel like the idea is great, but if it goes through the way it has been announced, which it will as of tomorrow, but if there are no adjustments to the cashback limits, no clarifications on when exactly the high indie app will be bought from the open market, how spread is handled, and if orders are going to be internalized and at what interval and so on. So, and some other adjustments, then this is actually going to be a huge issue for the project, because there simply will there will be a lot of sell pressure as a result right now. People that just will sell whatever they can right now because they don't want to use a card like this because it's not competitive when the requirements are ridiculous for them to reach, or challenging or hard or next to impossible, whatever, which will drive the price further down. And and I don't see how, like for me, for example, as a content creator, I don't see with the current changes, I mean, maybe with some clarification, maybe I missed a little bit and so on. And that's why, especially one of the reasons why I wanted to focus on the positive aspects that I see first. But maybe, I don't see a way how I can make content or tell somebody, hey, guys, you really should sign up for High.com. Because there you get the cashback. I'm a fan of the point system, in general, not with the current requirements, but I'm a fan of the idea, spend to earn, because as explained, it will increase buy pressure with delayed sell pressure, which should bring the price into an upwards trajectory. Yeah, super fan of that. Great idea, incredible idea in my opinion. But information is missing to clarify things like spread. Yeah. I'm a fan of the point system because it means you don't just buy once and then you get benefits and you keep selling and actually create more sell pressure, but you have to recurringly, either every month, every quarter, every half year, every year, have to somehow interact with the product in a way that makes the product more valuable and generates revenue for the business to fund the ongoing expenses. Great idea, yeah. But what I'm not a fan of, cashback limits way too low. Cashbacks percentages, I'm fine with that only when you pay with high you get more cashback and on other currencies you don't. But it again brings us back to spread needs to be clarified to make sure that the 1% cashback on basic is not actually a 1% loss after spread. And I'm definitely not a fan of the requirements, because like it's really like how would you even, I'm gonna check real quick. So if you want to be a platinum member, a diamond member, if you hold on average $10 million in flexible, you get 500 points. If you, maybe you can stack them up. Maybe you get them then for having the 1,000 and the 10,000, which would be then, you would get a total of 700, 850, 900. So you could get 920 points per month if you have 10 million in flexible. Yeah? And if you then, so you still would need 1,050 points. And yeah, if you then stake $1 million, you get 500 points for 180 days. So every 6 months you would stake $1 million for another 1,000 points. And you still would need 50 points. So you would still need to stake a little bit more. So I know that's for the highest tier, but again, like if we were to look at crypto.com, for example, Sean, one of the co-founders of High, actually used to be the CMO, so Chief Marketing Officer of crypto.com. Where do we have products, cards, CryptoPay, Visa cards, yeah. So they used to offer 8% cashback on their Obsidian card. They don't do that anymore. It's now 5%, but it requires 350,000 euro one-time lockup or 500,000 or $400,000. I think it's 400,000. Might be 500,000. Either way, it's less than 10 million. Yeah. And I get that was originally 8% and that's only now 5% and so on. But it just doesn't feel like, if we take Bluetooth in the equation, it doesn't feel competitive anymore. Yeah. And actually Bluetooth had like one of their biggest growths at the time when crypto.com slashed the rewards. There used to be 1% cashback for this card, 3% for that, no, 2% for this, or 3% for this one, and 5% for this or so. And then you see that there is no cashback limit here on the two highest cards, whereas at High, the highest card actually has no limit and everything below has limits, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, like it's, yeah. But once we take Bluetooth in the equation, the offer just isn't that attractive anymore. I mean, right now, for example, we have 1,000 PLU staked, so we get 6% cashback at Bluetooth. If I throw another $10,000 at the project, I actually lock in 8% cashback there, plus 8 perks. I know I can use Euro for funding, so I don't need to buy crypto. And I don't have depending on the couple euro that I pay per month, I can either have it for up to 2,000 euro per month, which usually is sufficient, or if I know in a month, we're gonna buy something more expensive, I can 1 month upgrade to the 15 euro membership and get the 8% on up to 22,000 euro spending. Yeah, Bluetooth is also not perfect. They also have their issues. They don't have or don't work on, maybe they work on it, but like banking features like HIDARs and so on. The app is not as nice and so on. But if we just talk about having a card for cashback, right now, actually, let's compare that. So right now, for me personally, so if my platinum membership counts, because right now the gigapool, or that's also an issue, I totally forgot. Like so far, whatever you staked in the high gigapool actually counted toward your membership tier. But with the point system now, you don't get any points for that. So actually for providing liquidity to the project and locking up that liquidity for a year at least, you don't get any kind of points that help you towards your membership tier anymore, meaning that for anyone that is involved in the project, it actually makes more sense to withdraw their liquidity when they can, and then if they want to participate in the project, then stake it in the High app or so to basically get the points for the membership tier, yeah, which also is a huge oversight in my opinion. And I believe, I'm not sure there, but I think because the team had problems counting the Ethereum-based gigapool, which is the issue I'm having with my membership. That's why the app says gold instead of platinum, which is super frustrating because it also means right now I'm getting not the spend rewards that I should get, not the interest I should get, and not the number of perks I should get. but I believe that might be the reason why they didn't include that, but I think it's a huge mistake as well. Yeah. But anyway, so right now I'm getting actually effectively 8%, not as of tomorrow, I would get 8% cash back unless they fix the bug and log me in as platinum as it should be. And for that, I have to till the end of the year, and then I would have ridiculous requirements because I would need to get 1,000 points or maintain 1,000 point balance. Or I just throw another $10,000 at Bluetooth and have my 8% locked in. Yeah, so, and especially if we dare consider that PLU, so like as I said, many projects have problems with maintaining their value. If we look here, Bluetooth eventually spiked very high, and I think around here towards the end of 2020, so we saw it was already $20 multiple times. Yeah, so like here originally it was higher, blah blah blah, but overall you can see it's actually in an upwards trajectory. And the way they do that is that as of July, so in a month, right now you need 2,000 PLU to lock in the 8%, but in a month that will increase, I think, to 2,200 or 2,500. So you have a little bit of FUD, okay, instead of selling your cash back, you actually have a reason, so all those requirements will slightly increase. So you have a little bit of reason to collect your cash back and actually buy more to get to the next cashback tier before the requirement will increase. And over the next couple of years, they will periodically increase those requirements, which means, again, you will not necessarily, if you already lock it in, so if you buy 2,000 PLU today and then the requirement increases to 2,500, you don't have to buy another 500 extra. But everybody that comes after you, so if today you're a veteran and in 2 months you want to go to Legend, it's not going to be buying 500 difference, but the difference will be a little higher. So you have an incentive to say you buy more now, and that obviously helps with the price development. Yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee that strategy will work forever, but so far it has been working. Yeah, and so if we compare that with the high chart, obviously throwing a lot of money in high every month or every quarter or every half year or every year to maintain the 1,000 or 2,000 point requirement for platinum or diamond versus investing once, having it not even having to move it to a centralized exchange, because those PLU that we have, the 1,000 Bluetooths that we have, they are in my wallet. So the wallet is just linked and they are in my wallet. They're not on an exchange or on a platform where I would maybe not be able to withdraw them. They are in my wallet, which means at any time can I go to any of those platforms that list Bluetooth and sell it if I want. I don't have to try to withdraw it from the Bluetooth app or so, and then maybe here, oh, sorry, you're not allowed, yeah, or withdraw declined or whatever. They are in my wallet. Whereas for the high membership, I would have to move more and more money into the high platform, where, I mean, I have a certain level of trust with high, yeah, but where simply it's, like not your keys, not your crypto, yeah. So yeah, but I think that's pretty much it. I obviously went hugely over time here. I want to apologize for that. Again, that's the issue with like not being able to prepare the content because it was like announced on such a short notice. I hope you guys spread the word. So like if you have other people that use high and so on, you do me a favor if you share the video. You probably do them a favor because I think I covered everything here. There weren't really any questions in the chat, so nothing to answer there either. And yeah, right now I think it remains to be seen how the team is going to react. So if there's going to be an update that answers the missing questions regarding spread and other aspects, internalization, when exactly orders will be executed on the open market and so on, and maybe even some adjustments to the point system and the cashback limit, or maybe none of that happens, and then we'll see if the few high roller users that may or may not have the risk appetite for a potential $12,000 cashback profit, invest millions or risk millions in quotes or expose millions, will be enough to actually drive the price up. Or as I said, overall, I think the changes are good. Like the overall idea is good. The execution from start to finish has been a complete shit show. Yeah, like starting with the late announcement, with the extreme requirements and everything that I mentioned in the stream. I'm a little bit disappointed because I had the privilege of already having calls with Sean, Sam, and T over the last 2 years since they started the project. And as said, I've already multiple times, and others also pointed out that they should give advance notice for stuff and blah, blah, blah. But it seems like they are just resistant there and do not care or don't want to, or for whatever reason. And yeah, like we'll see how it will go. For now, at this current low price, I don't have a reason to sell my high, so I will hold it. I will use the card. So I have, as you might have seen earlier, around 600,000 high and flexible, which is a couple $1,000 right now. So I will use the card with high spending to get the benefit out of it. We'll see if the positive trend movement happens. Then maybe I'll stick around. But I'm not sure I will then do the math if it's even possible for me without putting extra effort into it to achieve a decent enough tier, to have a decent enough cashback level, or if it's just smarter to, again, like I said, throw $10,000 into Plutus and enjoy the 8% cashback there without the requirements. I feel it's really a pity. I was really looking forward to making a video about the high cards, and I've postponed it so often because I knew that some changes would be coming, and I didn't want to create a video about something that's then outdated in a week or a month. Now that the changes are here, I'm like, again, idea great, but overall I'm a little bit disappointed, and yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Anyways, I hope you were able to take something away from this. As I said, spread the word, and then maybe see you in another video or in another live stream with me.